But yeah, like they show more landmarks
Where's that,
of New York.
scene at with the globe? Is that New York or Jersey or?
No, that's New York. That might be actually in Queens. I don't hit Queens as much, so like usually when I go to New York, it's
Not
usually
even
like
when them bitches owe
Manhattan.
you money.
I wonder what's on the tube.
Welcome back.
Thank you for being a friend.
What you talking about, Willis?
You are a meathead.
No soup for you.
Hey, don't touch that dial. Adjust those bunny ears, because what time do we have, Jay?
Well, what time do we have? Hopefully more than most, because I do not want to die, and
Yes.
that's all people do anymore is die. Please stop. Hey, I don't think we have any this week, though. Did you have any deaths this week?
Not that I took note of, no.
Well, good, because it's time for Sitcom My Face. I'm Jay. That's
I'm
Nick. Oh, man. Well, we just did this a couple days ago, but as we said, we're playing catch-up. So
Exactly.
instead of mustard. How's your vertigo going? Do you feel like Jimmy Stewart yet?
No. That's my both three.
Christmas movie house.
Now the vertigo's, yeah, it's going all right. The medicine
Vertigo
I'm
okay?
It's vertigoing. The medicine I'm taking is knocking the hell out of me, but hey,
See that. You're a little droopy.
Yeah, that makes me happy.
You look like my pee-pee after 30 seconds. Just floppy as can be. I mean, hey, it's
now,
almost Turkey
hey,
Day.
ho, hey.
What do you do for Turkey Day, my friend?
Well, for Turkey Day, going down with my wife down to her mom's house in Central Jersey, down in Dayton. And
That's
then,
what I was gonna do.
Oh,
She didn't tell
okay.
me you were going.
Oh, cool. Well, I'll see you there.
Oh, that's fine. There you go. Shit.
Little bit of a longer drive for you. But,
I thought it would be weird if you weren't there, but she seemed okay with it. This girl at work today, she comes in, she's a regular, and she's like, "Oh, what do you do for Thanksgiving?" And I was like, "Probably just sit home and cry because most of my family's dead."
Ooh.
She gave me a look, and it was funny. My coworker, he goes, "Well, most of his family is dead, but I don't think he cries about it."
Oh, God. Jeez.
Good times, good times.
Oh, no, nothing like also making people feel like,
Yeah, I think that conversation
like,
ended with, okay, have fun.
what's the next level above uncomfortable?
I don't know. They
It's
never
like-
lived to tell about it.
It's like the sorry I asked. But
That's fine. It's almost time to get that tryptophan dose, kids. I hope you all have a good
Yeah.
turkey.
Yeah.
I hope your families are alive and you get to enjoy some family
exactly.
time.
And if you're a vegetarian, some of that tofurkey, I guess, why not?
I was supposed to make that one day last week, but I called in sick. It was one of the days after the movie showing, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna make it that day. You can take your tofurkey and fuck yourself because I ain't fucking doing it."
Now, have you ever tried tofurkey?
Yes, because I have made it before, but I'm not a fan. Yeah.
Okay, I have not made tofurkey. I've done other, I've done the whole Beyond Burger type thing, and I've done the, Beyond Chicken type things, but I have not encountered a tofurkey yet.
Shockingly good though, I think, are like the Impossible Whoppers and shit. They taste just like a Whopper to me. I don't know.
Okay, I haven't
Probably
tried the
because
Burger
they just
King
cook
one
it on
yet.
the same charbroiler, but it
Yeah,
just tastes like a
probably.
Whopper to me.
It's like, oh wait, we're supposed to clean this and change this.
Well, it's like tofurkey or tofu, for instance. People will be like, "Oh, it's disgusting." I'm like, it really doesn't taste like anything.
It's a
just
sponge.
fucking-
It's a sponge.
Yeah, it's like it tastes like whatever you put on it. So if it tastes bad, that's on you because you didn't fucking season it or do anything with it.
That's like freaking eggplant. people, that go sometimes. It's like, oh, eggplant. It's nothing. It's like, well, it does. It takes the taste of what's around it. Like if you make eggplant parm, you're gonna get
Oh,
the
yeah.
sauce and the cheese.
Deep fried eggplant's awesome
Yeah. So
because I like grease.
there we go.
You know what I mean?
But
yeah.
the tofu, it definitely takes on whatever's coating it, what's around it, and takes on the flavors.
This
But
Italian man
but
knows his
tofurkey have not had the pleasure or displeasure, or I'm not sure which of having that yet. But did watch last week the episode of Raymond with the where Marie made the tofurkey.
My coworker Kent, shout out, hi Kent, how you doing, buddy? I don't know if he listens, but he might. He was like, "Dude, you got to watch the WKRP, the turkey drop episode." He said they put it up on YouTube or something.
Yes,
so.
it is on YouTube. You can find it there,
So
and that is one
I'll
of the
have to check that one out.
classic sitcom Thanksgiving related moments. With God as my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. That's all I got to say about that episode.
Well, I think maybe I'll have to spend Thanksgiving with my my new family, the
Heffernans.
I got the King of Queens Blu-ray box set here.
Oh, sweet.
This is the show we are covering this episode. We covered Raymond last week.
Yes.
And one of your favorite shows. You actually put it at, did you put it at number 1, right?
I did put it at number 1. Yeah, I have a feeling like over the holidays I might do some reshuffling of things. I think things like maybe news radio needs to be a bit higher, and maybe I need to resort a bit.
Hey, Andy Dick does not need to get any higher.
Hey, whoa.
He is high enough. That motherfucker. But yeah, so Everybody Loves Raymond. We covered that last episode. If you're interested in that, definitely check that out. We are doing our lists. So at the end of each episode, right now we're doing our favorites. We did the whole first season, 20 episodes. We're adding into stuff. This boy put it at number 1.
Yes, I did.
Number 1. So it was what, number 11, I think, on my list.
Yeah.
And this week, the
yeah,
spin-off.
like was it 11 or 10? It was like something like that. Like my 1-2 was like your 10-11.
Let's talk about the fact that this is a spinoff of Everyone Loves Raymond first. I think
Correct.
It's interesting to me. So, yeah, we talked about Kevin James showed up on that for, what did we say? I forget exactly how many episodes, but it was like 7 or something.
I believe. And the first couple of episodes that he showed up, he was not Doug Heffernan.
He was Kevin.
He was Kevin.
And then he was, I think, 2 or 4, one of the two. He was Doug Heffernan, the delivery driver for IPS. And they gave him this spinoff show. Now, just as a spinoff in the show relating to Raymond, how do you think they did in that aspect?
I think they did a very good job. Definitely, okay, both really funny shows, very different shows tonally. And we'll get into the tone of both.
They don't feel connected at all to me when you watch the two shows, separately. But the style, the comedy types are very different.
Very, very different. But when they had the different crossovers in that, I think it was pretty seamless. I didn't see any clunkiness to any of the episodes, because also on King of Queens you had episodes with Raymond and his brother and such.
Yeah, according to, I looked on IMDb. You said you looked on Wikipedia. IMDb, I think, says Ray was on 5 episodes of this show. Yes, they said 5. You said 4 according to Wikipedia, but I'm not sure if one of those might have been a 2-parter and maybe they count it as
that's
2
possible.
or something.
That's possible. All the episodes that Ray was in featured the word Ray in the titles, like Road Rage, Rainy Day, Dire Straits.
Well, yeah, it was probably like one of the top 10 shows at the time. So they're like, let's make sure people know Raymond is in this. So, yeah, I actually watched this show a lot more than I ever did Raymond. When this was on, I was watching it. And I think I mentioned it on the other episode, but I didn't watch Raymond until well after it was done, I think. I think I bought a DVD set or something at a Blockbuster when they closed and kind of got into
Oh
that show.
wow.
I almost wonder if I didn't know it was a spinoff at the time. Yeah, King of Queens aired on CBS for 207 episodes from 98 to 2007. So what was your life like when this show was running? You're a little older than me. I had just graduated high school in '05. So I was middle school, high school watching this.
Well, put it
I
this way,
probably discovered it middle of the run.
Yeah, I pretty much hit it early, and I was like 28, 29 when I like was first watching.
So you were watching it while it aired. This isn't a
Yes.
later discovery to you.
Yeah, but of
Why,
course,
and it's in reruns everywhere.
oh yeah,
like, all
no, I was
over.
gonna say between Raymond and King of Queens, I could turn on basically any channel on my TV, and like one of them's gonna be on at some point.
And then they go to the nanny because we established the nanny
Yes.
takes place in the same universe as Raymond.
Correct.
So theoretically, it's got to take place in the same universe as King of Queens. Although I don't think Fran Drescher ever showed up on the King of Queens.
No, I do not think Fran Drescher ever made a crossover there.
So the basic plot of the King of Queens is very basic. Husband, wife. You have your typical fat, funny husband, your thin, hot wife, and comedy ensues. But they throw in this one. Instead of the kids, you have the father-in-law,
Yes.
who is the brilliant Jerry Stiller,
Yes, and many people know him from
Seinfeld,
yes,
of course,
as George's dad.
George's second dad, because George had another dad first. Remember that? There was some guy. I don't know why they changed him, but
Yeah, you know what? They did that with a couple. Yeah, because they did that with Jerry's dad too.
yeah. So you got Kevin James, or I'm sorry, Kevin George Nipfing, as everyone knows him. Kevin James's real name is Kevin George Nipfing. I can see why I have a stage name because I have a crazy fucking name. I understand why Mr. Nipfing went to Kevin James. I get it, bro.
Nipfing, it just rolls off the tongue and falls off, and then
It's a KN. It's a KN too. So
Yeah.
KNIPFING.
Wow.
So, which is funny because his brother's on the show with him.
Yes.
Who's his cousin Danny on the King of Queens is his brother
Actually,
Gary Valentine.
right. Yeah, they both
Who is-
chose different surnames,
It's like
for their
Charlie
acting
Sheen
career.
Emilio Estevez, you know.
Mm-hmm.
One went with Sheen, one went with the original Estevez. But yeah, his Gary Valentine is actually Gary Nipfing. But his wife, Leah Remini, who I think is great on this show. Joey said Jerry Stiller. Who are some of your other favorite, like, there's a lot of characters that kind of come in and out of this show. Who are some of your other favorites?
Spence, played by Patton Oswalt. Like,
Patton
I think
Oswalt.
that's one of the thing. And as we see later, also Spence's mom, played by Ann Mira, who is actually Jerry Stiller's wife.
Yep. And Amy Stiller, their daughter, Ben Stiller's sister, is on the show a lot. She plays a lot of, I think, different characters. And she's usually playing against Jerry in some, like, she's usually like a coffee house employee or something that he's screwing over, getting fired or something like that. So that's always funny. If you know that's his daughter, it kind of makes it a little funnier when she pops up.
That's funny.
Nicole Sullivan, who I loved from
Holly.
Mad TV as Holly, the dog walker who is hired to walk the father, Arthur.
And we'll go into why these things happen shortly too.
Victor Williams as Deacon. I think he's a great sidekick.
Oh, Deacon is a great, definitely sidekick. Like he's the great straight man to Doug's.
Yeah. And he's one of the early friends that stuck because this show had a lot of early friends that kind of faded away. You had Richie, who was there for like
he was
44
there
episodes.
a few seasons. Like I think second season he's
been
there.
Yeah.
And then after that, he just kind of pops up like a couple more times, and that's it.
And his name's Larry Romano. So I always wondered, I had to look up to see if he was related to Ray Romano, and I don't think he is.
I don't believe so.
It would have made sense if he was like a cousin or something. He's like, hey, go on our spin-off shows, but I don't think he's related.
No, I do not believe he's actually... Yeah. Oh, and in fact, I just looked it up for you. Larry is not related to Ray Romano of Everybody Loves Raymond.
His name's actually Larry Barone. He's related to Ray Barone. Well, you mentioned right before we were going on that there was another child that disappears throughout the fucking show. In 4 episodes, the wife, Leah Remini's character, has a sister named Sarah.
Yep.
Who just goes away.
Just fades away. And it's mentioned just one more time and not even by name. Just like that. Carrie has a sister.
Lisa Rifle, I believe is how you say it.
Yeah, I believe
Sarah
that's more
Spooner
Rifle.
for 4 episodes. What's funny is I've been in this, I've joined some Facebook groups for this show, but the King of Queens group I've been in for quite a while, and I swear to God, every 3 days you see a post about what happened to Carrie's sister, what happened to Richie, and it's the same fucking people going, God damn it, we've answered this question a million times. Apparently Richie left, Larry Romano left to do, I think, another series, and then that series failed, and they just didn't bring him back.
Right. I think he comes back around the end, but like there's the one with Kevin. How about Doug's sister, who's played by Ricky Lake?
Ricky Lake, yep.
Yeah.
Who also is later not mentioned that he has a sister.
Right.
If you're a sister on the King of Queens, just fuck
off.
You're done.
Yeah, just
you're not going to be.
Just go away now because it ain't happening.
Because they do flashbacks and all that shit, and I don't know if they were just like, well, we're not going to bother bringing these people back. We do these flashbacks, and we just say, oh yeah, they're only children. You know, fuck Doug's sister, fuck Carrie's sister.
Oh yeah, you know what's an interesting choice also as one of the neighbors, to actually have someone playing themselves.
Yeah, interesting, right?
The Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, I wonder how that came about. Lou Ferrigno and his wife both play themselves as their neighbors. They're not in a bunch, maybe 17 episodes, I think it said, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But I mean, they're always great when they're on there. And I love that he plays himself because there's always, at first, it's like, holy shit, it's Lou Ferrigno. And they kind of make a big deal about it. But then as the series goes on, they kind of like grow to like resent him.
Right.
Like, oh, he's doing his fucking Hulk shtick again. Like, I love that it's kind of realistic in that sense.
And of which Lou hates. It's like no Hulk joke, no Hulk jokes, guys. Come on. Like,
yeah. But also, like, I remember one episode where Spence was going to a Comic-Con or something, and he had Adam West or somebody was going to go with him, and then Adam West backed out. So then he tried to get Lou Ferrigno, but Lou found out that he was like second fiddle to Adam West. And he's like, my whole fucking career, I've been second fiddle to Adam West, and now you want me to fucking take his place. And then Adam West, of course, like, decides to do it.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, Lou, I think I'm going to go with Batman. Oh yeah, there's some good shit in there with Lou. You mentioned Ricky Lake and Mira. She was always fun. There actually was another Spence's mom first too.
Yeah, first season. And then you also have
the first mom was somebody too, and I can't remember who it was. She was a character actress that we would have known from other shows.
The first mom of
Spence.
Of Grace Zabriskie. She was Sarah Palmer in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, she was in a bunch of stuff, right? Like, she's got one of those faces that you know, but you don't know her name.
Yeah, she's actually been in a few things of David Lynch's like films and shows here. Yeah, don't forget the rest of Doug's family too. You also have his mom and dad.
His mom and dad are great on here. I like them a lot. They're very like they're kind of Ray's mom a little bit, like the very Dougie, like everything's fine, Dougie. It's whatever. Everything you do is precious. Like they don't ever want anything bad to happen to him. I remember the episode where
with the dog.
The dog. He goes home, and he finds out that this dog that he thinks has been alive for like 30 years is like the 7th incarnation of the and they just keep replacing the dog. Well, we didn't want to upset Dougie, so we just keep buying the same dog and naming him the same thing. It's like so fucking. That is something Marie would do on Raymond.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that would be something.
So, what were your favorite episodes of the ones you've seen?
Okay, of the ones that like you would send me a list I'm trying
Like
to
the
remember.
top 13 or something.
Yeah, top
from,
13. Do you remember if that was Ranker or it
I
wasn't
think it
episode
was
Ninja?
Ranker.
Okay, it was Ranker.
I didn't go by it in my revisit just because I've seen the show so many times through. That I just kind of picked sporadically the last couple days, but
the number one episode, I would debate with them that's the number one. They put
what was it?
Paul Locks. Again, hey, I'm part Polish.
Oh,
so
the pole
with
dancing one.
Yeah, the pole dancing one.
You know, I think that in the Facebook group, I think that is a lot of those people's favorites because they'll post about it when it comes up a lot.
Mm-hmm. I like it has a couple of moments, but overall, I don't think it was.
It's really
the best.
The whole joke of the episode is fat guy on a pole dancing.
But, yeah, fat guy on a pole, and the fact of also that Carrie's
not good at it.
Yeah, she's the athletic one, like the fit one. But yeah, Doug is the one that can actually do the actual pole dance type stuff.
Pretty early on, there was an episode of talking about how fat and awkward her mom was. So I kind of like that she's super sexy and then is kind of not good at being sexy though.
Right.
A lot of times.
Yeah,
I think that's a really interesting.
She's
character
awkward
trait.
Sexy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's I think the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Awkward and angry.
Right. It's my type of woman, man. She'll beat the fuck out of you. She won't think twice about it.
And there was one other one on Doug's Family that I saw. I don't remember what episodes he was in though. Doug's uncle. Uncle
yeah,
Stu
from Mary Tyler Moore Show, right?
Yep, Gavin
Wasn't that
McLeod
Gavin
and
McLeod,
Captain
yeah.
Stubing.
He was Danny's dad for I think 2 episodes, something like that.
It might have been. That's why I'm I didn't get a
I think
chance
that's
to
when
revisit
they
those
first introduced
episodes.
Danny. I think the first time they introduced him is when Doug wants to do a sandwich shop or something.
Oh, okay. That
I
sounds
think
familiar. Yeah.
Danny has a business idea, but his dad decides to back Doug.
Right.
And then he gets jealous. I think that might be the first Danny one or somewhere in there, but because he wasn't there originally, but he came in, I think somewhere in the middle-ish, something like that.
And Danny actually later on also becomes roommates or housemates with
Spence when
Spence.
he finally moves out of his mom's house.
Yeah.
Which is a running gag on the show. So have you seen every episode of this show, or you just seen kind of a sprinkling?
No, I think I've over the years have seen every episode, but it's just I don't know, for me they didn't stick as much, some of them didn't stick as much with me, but if it's on, I'm watching. Okay. It's one of those types of things, there are certain shows that if it's on, okay, yeah, I'm going to watch the episode now. It's stop what I'm doing.
It's not too often you get a sitcom without a bunch of fucking kids to deal with.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that Jerry Stiller is the kid.
Yeah. Yeah, playing
He's just so brilliant. And but they treat him like he's a fucking toddler.
Oh yeah, well, but it's well deserved though by the way he actually acts.
Imagine being raised by that man.
I love
that character.
I watched one of the episodes I watched was when Doug scares Arthur, and he
trick or treat.
Yeah, basically Arthur goes to the hospital. He has a heart ischemia. Yes, not heart attack, a heart ischemia.
Arthur hates Halloween, but Doug is like, fuck you, and decides to decorate the house with Halloween decorations.
Yeah,
and he comes down and she's a paper ghost.
Yeah, a paper ghost.
And he just and he just cuts to a fucking ambulance, which I love. Always love that cut in a sitcom.
But the fact of, Doug says he could picture Arthur as a kid going to this pizza shop, getting his lemon ice, lemon ice.
Yeah, he's in the hospital. Yeah, he's talking about this horrible story, and the only great thing in his childhood was he's going to what was it, Geno's or something like that, some pizzeria.
Yeah, I think it might have been Geno's. It's the one it had a picture of a monkey with a mustache.
With an Italian mustache. So he decides he's gonna do something nice for him, and he's like, "I'm gonna go find this lemon icy that he grew up with." And he's like, "Just picture your little dad in there, lemon icy." And yeah, he finally tracks down the original Geno's or whatever the hell.
After going to how many? they're
supposed to be like
going
Ray's,
all
right?
over.
Isn't Ray's the big one out in Jersey and New York? It's like original Ray's and original Ray's. And
Oh,
Ray.
as far as the pizza parlor, yeah. Original Ray's.
I think it's supposed to be like that, yeah. So, but
Yes.
yeah, but I love the flashback at the end. Yes,
Yes,
where they actually show childhood.
Yes. But I love the fact of that flashbacks are shown in a way that it seems like everybody's like from like sort of like the 1920s, and got the like the newsy hat on or whatever, like cap on, and the like the suspenders, like he should be like holding up, get your paper here. But
well, I mean, think about it though. That was probably a late '90s episode. If he's 70,
yes. Well,
it's not too far off.
for Arthur, it makes sense. But then there's another episode where Doug and Deacon, they both love this one toy, Mentalo.
Mentalo, that's a classic one, yeah.
Yeah, and Deacon is having a flashback of him as a kid, and it looks like the same type of thing as Arthur. He's got the type of hat and I think suspenders on. I'm like, wait a second. Is this like anytime someone's in a flashback, they're going to look the this old-timey way?
This show, I think, like once a season they did like a flashback episode too, where it would be like how they met or the first time he met her dad or their wedding.
Mm-hmm.
They think they did like a season of that, which I think Raymond also did.
Yeah, Raymond definitely. They had like the how they met.
So I wonder if that was like an inspiration from that almost.
I wouldn't be surprised. Just like any comedy, any sitcom, and actually not just sitcoms, any TV show, they see what works. Hey, this works on this show. Well, that's the formula. We'll do that on this show.
Oh, I've mentioned in other shows too how sometimes you'll have an actor who plays, multiple roles. On this one, Nick Bakay, I don't know how to say his name. He's probably best known for playing the voice of Salem on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the cat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know that he's got that real distinct voice.
Mm-hmm.
He's on 11 episodes of this show as 10 different characters. Which I always like too. He's one of those guys you'll pop up in random. You go, oh, there he is, and I always recognize his voice. That's Salem.
He's the utility man, yeah.
But I think he might have been a writer on this or something. I think he also wrote for Sabrina as well.
Let's see. Let's see, director.
I feel like I saw something where on Sabrina they had him as like a temp voice. And his voice was just so good, they never found anybody better, so they just kept him as Salem. So I think he actually is a TV writer.
It's quite possible.
11 episodes, 10 different characters? Like, really? A couple of them I watched today, he was like two different priests, which I fucking loved. Even when he played a priest twice, they didn't have him be the same priest.
Oh, wait a second. Yes, I was watching the one with the cake sale.
Okay.
Yeah, where the one priest sees them at the movie theater. They watch the movie and
guy.
What's that?
He's the red-haired one. There's two priests on the show that show up a lot. Usually it's the other one, but he's the red-haired one.
Yeah, the red-haired priest. He goes, oh, yeah, it's like, basically ropes them into doing, some stuff for the church over the holidays. Doug does, like, duty, like, guarding the nativity, the giant nativity scene that they have.
Yeah.
And Carrie's supposed to bake a cake. But, of course, now we get to,
is that the one where they frost a pillow?
Yes, they frost, like a
and then
chair pillow.
he has to win it in the cakewalk, so he keeps, like, fucking pushing people out of the way.
And
yeah, that's a very funny
for
one.
those that don't know what a cakewalk is, also, you want to explain what that is?
Well, you got to be 100 to be care. No, it's like you literally walk in. It's kind of like musical chairs, right?
Right,
But with a
exactly.
Cake,
It's
you play the
musical
music
chair with
and
cake.
whatever cake you stop, the music stops you're in front of. You have to buy it, and is it part of it? It's usually charity, right?
Yes, it's a charity
Or for
thing.
the church or whatever.
Yep.
You buy whatever cake you stop in front of. But he doesn't want anyone to buy this cake because she fucked the cake up and they frosted the pillow.
Well, yeah, like she was screwing up multiple cakes. Finally, the last one that Doug's mom gave her, like the recipe, it turned out like a tiny cake. So it's like, okay, we need to do something else, and Doug wouldn't let her buy a cake to bring.
Remember the I Love Lucy where Ricky and Fred try to make a cake? And it's like this thick, and he goes, "What? I thought you said you were making a 7-layer cake." And he goes, "I did. They're all in there." You know, there's
God,
how many shows have classic Cakewalk episodes?
I
think that 70s show.
I don't know about that.
I think that 70s show had a Cakewalk episode at a
Oh,
church.
okay.
If I remember right.
I don't remember that one, but
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let's see, what other comedy, like sitcom cake type of things can you remember? I remember the Little Rascals with the surprise cake, the one that went.
That sounds like a fucking sex position that I don't want anything to do with.
It's like they were throwing everything into this cake, like an old shoe and everything, and it just like started making noises, and like it would rise and fall and rise and fall and make like those noises like.
Or like Jeff Anderson and Zach and Miri. He's the cameraman and he gets shit on. He's like, "She frosted me like I was a fucking cake."
Oh
Happy
God!
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes. Gobble
Don't
gobble.
watch. Don't watch Zach and Miri with your family after turkey dinner. You might not hold it down.
But
Especially that scene.
But what were some of your favorite episodes, like when it came to King of Queens?
I do like the Trick or Treat. One of my favorites, I didn't revisit it this time, but I did tell you, it's among my favorites probably, is the episode with Marla Gibbs guest stars from Florence from this Jeffersons.
Right.
The episode's called Patrons Ain't. And I believe, is it school? Was it Kirby's school? I think it might be Deacon's son's school.
Yeah, I think it might have been, because they didn't have kids, so yeah.
Right. Yeah, and they donate to the school, and there's the wall of all the names of the people who donated, and they have different tiers. And you get a certain tier based on how much you donate, and they donate, and then they end up on a tier like below or 2 below even.
Yeah, like
where they
I think like the
donated.
first tier or something like that they wind up on, and they donated more.
So because of course they're so fucking self-centered and
yes,
full of themselves, they're like, well, we have to tell her that and she's like an old woman who's like, I don't remember things very well, and if I screw up again, they're gonna fire me, kind of thing, And so they decide, yeah, we should be up here, but you put us down here. Oh, I'm so sorry. They redo the whole fucking thing, the wall, and they put their names up there again. But now
where?
they're at the top of the fucking thing, like the highest donors. And now they're kind of like okay with, well, we look pretty good up there, but like we didn't donate that much money, It's a really funny, like, their little moral quandary, because it's like Doug to an extent is an asshole, but it really shows when Carrie's kind of like, we look,
Yeah, I will say, like, when comparing again, like we were talking about, like the different style of sitcom, like okay, Raymond's humor is very different from King of Queens. Yeah. Like Doug and Carrie are also very different than Ray and Deborah. Like Doug and Carrie are very. How would you
they're
put it?
Animated. I would say.
Very animated.
They are like a cartoon character. They're all 3 of them are cartoon characters.
Yeah,
Arthur, Doug, and Carrie they're always screaming, which I love. It's very high energy. Just she's always calling
especially
him a fat
Arthur.
fuck.
Arthur is the biggest. It's like like he always does that build up.
Doug's shoddy, or it's always got some stupid
shuddy up,
on, like that kind of stupid shit. which I love. But yeah, that's one of my favorite episodes. And just like I think after I think they finally tell her about the top tier mistake, and then they end up firing her. Then we got a sweet old woman fired from the fucking school.
Right. That's the thing though with Doug and Carrie. Like they seem, like you said, they're definitely more animated, but they also seem to be like, if you want to say, worse people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to that, yeah, because like you said, they have no kids. They're just they're very not full of themselves, but they are self-centered.
Yeah. Well, and I watched one today where Carrie like is buying a bunch of stuff at like a Best Buy type store, and she ends up not getting charged for an iPod.
Oh, right.
Did you see that one?
I did see that one.
And like because the girl's like on the phone, and she tries to tell her, but the woman's being a bitch.
Right.
So she's like, whatever. She walks out, and then she starts to have like a moral quandary. So she goes to the priest. Like, I think it's the same priest again.
Yes, it is. I remember that one.
And is like, he's like, yeah, you should probably go back and say something. So then she goes back, and she's telling the manager what happened. Your woman was over there on the phone, and she wouldn't listen to me and didn't ring up the thing. And then that woman gets fired. And then she's like, well, and then she feels bad again. So she goes back to the fucking priest. She's like, what do I do now? And well, just make amends with her or whatever. So she goes in and is like, my place is hiring or whatever if you want to come in for an interview. And then accidentally tells her husband about this other guy she was on the phone with.
Right.
She's like, oh, you must be Raymond or whatever. And he's like, no, well, you're talking to him again? Or whatever.
Yeah, it like starts a whole fight with the two of them.
Oh, it's just it keeps piling on.
And,
so it's
and then finally, where is the iPod going?
Yeah, didn't she give it to the priest, or
Yes.
she left it there and the priest took it or something? One of the two.
It wound up going to the priest, like at the end.
Yeah. I love those kind of like moral episodes, and it's always funny because it does usually come down to Doug versus Carrie, and usually Doug lies to Carrie a lot, but when it comes to other people, it's usually Doug going, "You're fucking evil, you evil bitch," which
definitely.
I love their dynamic so much, and it is, like I said, the classic dynamic of it is a Ralph Cramden and an Alice, which
it is,
which is why I sent you that clip of the episode where they do the honeymooners.
Yeah, and actually, I was reading a piece that it was basically like based on like that dynamic of the honeymooners.
Well, I mentioned we've talked about the honeymooners, and we talked about living single, and how Overton is very much like Ed Norton. And so when I see this clip now, Deacon being this large African American man, it's almost funny that I feel like he's almost doing an Overton.
Oh,
instead
wow.
of which really cracks me up, and I love it now. But she does a really good, Kevin Nipfing does it, or does a very good Ralph Cramden, but she's a really good Alice in that episode, that little clip there.
No, I'm going to be checking it out afterwards, but yeah, I saw that it was partly inspired by the classic TV sitcom The Honeymooners.
What we forgot to mention it on the Raymond one, which you would probably remember them a little better, but the theme song, we always talk about the theme song.
Yes.
Raymond's got kind of a weird intro.
Yes, and I was going to say that about these two shows, the fact of sometimes there's no intro, like you're just like you hit the ground running on these two shows.
Well, the beginning of the King of Queens, it was just like a bing, ding, ding, like a little musical.
Right. Yeah, just like how Seinfeld used to do the with the the bass.
Well, and Raymond doesn't really have a theme as much as it's him like talking. Although later they do kind of the action-y sequence.
Well, at the original but like the first like 2 or 3 seasons, you have what we know to be the Ray theme, which plays at the end usually of episodes. It's like it's just piano. Yeah,
because the intro is when they're all floating. The first one, right? The family like floats in.
Let's see. Was the first one floating? No, I think that was the second one. The first one I think was conveyor belt. They go by on conveyor belt. The second one is the floaties.
I thought Robert was the only one on the conveyor belt. Were they all on the conveyor belt at first?
Yeah, they were all conveyor belt.
Hmm.
And then what do you call it? The second one was the floaty, except Robert. Then the third one was basically they start with the Ray theme. It's Ray, Deborah, and the kids at home, and then all of a sudden Ray yelling, "They're coming!" and it becomes "Ode to Joy." It's like da 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 da.
It's like an action sequence where he's trying to lock the door in time to keep out.
They're trying to lock the door, turn off the stereo, like all these.
Was there
things.
another one? Was there another one after that?
Yes, there was one where they're all playing football. Not the kids, but Ray, Deborah, Robert, Frank, and Marie. And like, and Marie clotheslines Deborah, and you're like, and then what's your at the end? Marie smiles and has like a tooth missing.
So what do you think of the King of Queens theme? And that one's once the theme comes though, like you said, there are episodes where they kind of skip it for time wise, but usually it's the same.
Yeah, they do two things. They do either they skip it time wise and just give you that very beginning like, or you get the shortened theme. It's like without the lyrics. It's like it's like my eyes are getting weary. Tight.
It's getting tight.
Go Queensboro Bridge tonight.
I don't care, cause all I wanna
do is
cash my check and drive right home to you. Yeah.
But yeah, like they show more landmarks of New York.
At with the globe? Is that New York or Jersey or?
No, that's New York. That might be actually in Queens. I don't hit Queens as much, so like usually when I go to New York, it's usually
not even
like
when the
Manhattan.
bitches owe you money.
Hey, they better pay. Now,
fuck Queens better have my money.
But like I don't hit a lot of the boroughs. I normally hit Manhattan, once in a while the Bronx, once in a blue moon Queens, not really Staten Island, and very rarely Long Island.
This made me laugh. So I've been looking at the directors and the writers. The most prominent writer I found, he wrote 72 episodes of this. The only two guys with more credits were the two creators. Mm-hmm. And as I've noticed, the creators usually get writing credit, I think, on all of them. So if I see...
Well, what is it? Whiteham is the other guy?
Whitehorn or something?
Whitehorn.
So this Rock Rubin, which is a sweet fucking name. I like, Rock, and then I like a Reuben. Fuck, corned beef.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like a really kicking up version of a sandwich there.
He wrote 72 episodes of The King of Queens, and this fucking cracked me up, because I looked at all of his credits. He had like 7. And one was like unnamed Cedric the Entertainer project. And the other ones were The Crew, Kevin Can Wait, Here Comes the Boom, Zookeeper, and The King of Queens.
Huh. I sense a theme.
Those are all fucking Kevin
James. Yep.
So I was like, does this guy only write for fucking Kevin James? How weird is that?
Hey,
how often does that happen?
Some people, like they have their muse. Like, what's his name? What the hell is the filmmaker that did like Beetlejuice and that?
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. Johnny Depp seems to be his muse a lot. Yeah,
but he wasn't there in the beginning. He didn't bring Johnny Depp in until like what, Edward Scissorhands or something.
Right. Yeah. But like after a while they were doing lots of films together.
Now the most prominent director I found was Rob Schiller, who directed 169 episodes of this show, which is a fucking lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, considering it's only 207
episodes. That's a fucking lot. He's also done, these were the higher number of shows he's directed. Ned and Stacy, which I've never seen. Melissa and Joey. Sullivan and Son, so he really likes shows with and.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, he's
Sullivan and
definitely
Son actually was a good show.
Yeah, he lives in Conjunction Junction, I guess. Being that you told
Did you
me
ever
before.
watch Sullivan and Son? That was the Steve Burns show. He's a comedian. I really
No,
liked that.
I never watched it. I know actually two of the Impractical Jokers, Q and Sal, were big fans of Sullivan and Son, and actually had Owen Benjamin on their
yeah, he was on there. Yeah,
on What Say You, their other podcast.
Steve Byrne, he was at the LA Improv when we were there, and I remember I was very drunk, and I was with my very thin friend,
Oh no.
and we were in the front row, and I'm just laughing my ass off. 'Cause I think he's a funny dude, and he just stops middle of a joke, and he looks at me and he goes, "Jesus Christ, you two look like a bad buddy cop movie." And I was like, but it was right after that he got that show. But his dad on there was the dad from Wonder Years.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And the other show that this guy directed quite a bit of was Till Death. You remember that show?
Till Death. I'm trying to remember. Wait.
It's connected to Raymond.
I'm trying to think though. Who's in that one? Oh, Brad
Brad
Garrett.
Garrett's
Yeah,
show.
that was the following.
It's
like
Fox show.
yes, that's right. Yeah.
That's a weird show because it went like 4 seasons, but it was one of those where it was. I think every season was like a mid-season pickup. It was one of those like it's on the back burner if we need it, and they just kept fucking like it was on life support a lot to the point where the side characters always changed because they never had contracts for anybody. So it was him and the wife, and then they had like 4 or 5 daughters on there, and they were all completely different looking girls.
Oh, jeez.
One of them was the girl from Raising Hope with the dead tooth.
Oh, okay.
She was one of the like 4 daughters the same time.
What's her name?
Yeah, what the hell's her fucking name?
Some Garfunkel and Oates.
Yeah, her.
Oh, what the hell is her name?
We'll have to do that show sometime because it's a weird stuff. And then they added from Curb. Oh shit! What's the
Jeff Garlin?
No, the black roommate.
Oh,
Enthusiasm.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Funny as shit. Fuck, I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, they added him as like the best friend later on too.
But that's like one of those, like you said, like shows that it's like, oh wow, this is still on.
JB Smoove, that's his fucking name.
Oh, JB Smoove. Okay, yeah, because he was in like the newer Spider-Man movies. He also does some voice work too now.
Is he in the Spider-Man movies? Really?
Yeah, JB Smoove. Yeah, he's one of the teachers at Peter Parker's high school.
Oh, speaking of which, John Favreau is on one of my favorite episodes of this show.
Oh,
Did you see? Remember the trash liquor one?
No, I don't remember.
John Favreau plays like one of Doug's, like I think he's elementary friends or something, and he hates him because he told everyone that he licked a trash can.
Oh, okay.
And everyone he told everyone I licked a trash can, and even Carrie and everyone's like, well, did you? And he goes, no, I didn't lick the But no one believes that he didn't. He's like, well, if there was something good in there, he's like, there wasn't.
Oh, so speaking of other good actors in guest starring roles, one of the ones I watched was what was it? But Thanks Man. It was the one at Thanksgiving where Nick Offerman shows up.
Offerman.
He's a guy with an eye patch, saying that his car broke down. Can he use can I use their phone? Then later, can he use go to the bathroom?
And then but he's kind of like an off-putting. They're not sure if they should let him in. They kind of feel uncomfortable.
And again, the fact of he's got an eye patch, so it's like, what is he, a pirate?
Holly's like super attracted to him because she's into weird fuck. She's always got the worst taste in men, the most horrible fucking people. She's like, I think he's cute, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Nick. I think that might be the first time I've ever seen him.
Oh wow, yeah. You know what? At some point,
and he's very subdued in that one. Like he's not the funny part of the show. He's like a guest, like real straight kind of character until the end when they.
But at some point, I know we did one for Halloween, but definitely have to watch Parks and Rec with Nick Offerman as Ron Swanson, one of the great TV characters.
Him and his wife used to be. Was it Megan Mullally he's married to?
Yes,
Is that the one?
he's
Yeah.
actually and it's so weird
Is
because
she from Will
he's
and
so,
Grace,
he's
right?
so low key while she's so hyper and
Fun fact I saw. I think it was on IMDb. So who knows if it's true? But it said that Megan Mullally was the original choice for Carrie,
Oh, I did not know
and
that.
she turned it down for Will and Grace.
Oh.
So that must have been around the same year.
It's it could
98
be.
or right 97 probably when they were working on it or whatever.
Yeah,
Which I think it was the better choice for both of them, honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't think she would have been as good on this show.
No.
So
Yeah, and put it this way, she was definitely suited for
I've
Will
never
and Grace
seen Will
that.
and Grace, but I know a lot of people love it and they swear. But I'm sure we'll get to it.
Oh yeah, no,
They brought
we'll
it back,
definitely
right?
get to that
I
at some point.
I think it was on the Universal tour when I was there. They said that got renewed for another season. The
Yeah,
reboot.
it got renewed, and I guess it had
So-
one season, and then I guess it
'Cause
didn't
I
get renewed
think-
again.
I think they pointed out the stage it was shooting at on the back lot when we were there, if I recall. Oh, did you watch Net Profits? That's another one of my favorites with the stock market investments.
I'm trying to remember that
I
one.
believe it was a Christmas time episode. It was an early one, I think, and it was like Doug's Christmas bonus. They decided to invest it in the market,
Oh yes,
and it was fucking great because like their mood changes based
on what the
how
stocks
the
are doing.
stock is doing. So like in
Mhm.
the corner of the screen, it has like the fucking NASDAQ or whatever. And as the graph goes up, they're all like, "Wah!" happy as shit. And as it goes down, they're just fucking the most angry.
What you had mentioned about Leah Remini not being the first choice, that Megan Mullally. Did you see what happened as far as Jerry Stiller? That he was the first choice, he turned it down, and they were supposed to get another old-time actor, Jack Carter, a very angry guy. Another one of those angry, funny people.
Would I know him from anything? Jack Carter?
Let's see.
The name doesn't ring a bell, but
like again, we're going way back. Cavalcade of Stars.
okay. Oh, okay.
He made appearances on a lot of shows like Dick Van Dyke, Rockford
Have you ever
Files,
heard-
Wild Wild
Have
West.
you ever heard any of Jerry and Mira's comedy? I guess they were a comedy team for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually looked up any of their bits.
What was it? Mira and Stiller and Mira.
Mhm. I don't think I've ever actually seen any of their comedy, but I should look them up.
I think I just saw as a piece on, like, it was one of those like histories of comedy, different thing, the sitcom and stand up and like blue comedy and things like that. And one of them was duos, and they went into a little with the Stiller and Mira. But that's the only time I saw besides the show. And the roast of Jerry Stiller.
Flash Photography. Did you watch that episode? I like that one a lot. Where they're at a wedding and Doug. they have
takes the
disposable
picture.
Cameras.
Yes, takes the
They
picture
have
with the little hat.
Cameras. They have the cameras on the tables, and he decides to take a picture of his dick with a little top hat on it, and it becomes like all the fucking people at the bride and groom are fighting over it because they think Danny did it.
Right.
And that's like her ex-boyfriend, and everyone at this thing is like, "Oh, it's disgusting." And Doug's mom sees it, and it's like, "Oh, it's burned into my brain." But I love the this is what like King of Queens is good at, is like that could be the whole plot. It's like, oh, will he tell people? But then Carrie sees the picture after he confesses to like, that was me, it wasn't Danny, and sees the picture and is embarrassed to let anyone know that's her husband's dick. So it was immediately like, you're right, we shouldn't tell anyone about this. And he's like, wait, you're embarrassed. That's me, Those are the moments I think this show really shines. Because, it's just that little extra comedy hump that I feel like they always take. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
there's some real, like, even like seductive jokes in some of the titles and stuff. Like there was one early on where Doug is really nice to Arthur and is rewarded by Carrie, that thing. And the episode is called Head First, which has nothing to do with the episode except for the fact that he gets head. So once you watch it, you go, why the hell is this called Head First? And you go,
it's like, okay, that's the reason.
So it's got like a little dark sexual kind of like edge
undertone,
to
yeah.
it. Yeah. So then he starts treating Doug real nice, or starts treating Arthur really nice, and then he's not getting the same reciprocation, and starts getting mad about it. And then tells Carrie, she's like, "What are you, a fucking Rottweiler? Jesus, you need it every day,
And then what was one of the ones I watched was where Doug treats Carrie to a spa like weekend, and to earn points because he
wants
and
to go on
the guys,
whatever
they want to
trip.
go to Vegas.
Yeah.
So
It's like, what do you call it? The relationship credit, or what do you say?
relationship
Something like
credit, and then it's like, oh, okay, when at the one point,
that. I don't want to spend my credit on sex.
yeah, it's like, yeah, she wants to have sex. It's like, no, I don't want to waste it on that. It's like, you don't want to waste it on sex.
I earned a credit. I don't want to waste it on sex. I want to go to Vegas. Which, again, we talked about the marital, like the really small marital jokes of Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a clear example of the differences between the shows. Because I like that is like an escalated version of something Raymond would do, right?
Very escalated, yeah.
Yeah, like they would be more subtle and toned down about it.
Yeah.
But he's flat out like, no, I did this thing, so I want to go this, but I don't want to have sex with you because, I don't want to waste my credit on sex. Yeah, I think this show's got a lot more of a filthy mind, which I really appreciate, of course.
Right. And, yeah, it's like, again, for me, I really enjoy the show. I think I just, like I said on the last episode, I think I relate more on the Raymond scale than, because some of the things are so, like, heightened on King of Queens.
Well, and Chris Elliott, I think, is on a couple episodes here, too.
What's that?
Chris Elliott was on a few episodes here.
Oh, on the King of Queens?
Two. Yeah.
I missed it.
What was the Bedbugs one? I think he was in the one at the hospital where Doug like runs into him and the guy like thinks he knows him or something.
Oh, yes. Oh,
right? Wasn't that Chris Elliott as well?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it because like, wasn't it also something about like a transplant or something or other?
Because he tells him he's dying or something,
yeah,
right?
There's something to do with that.
Yeah,
like,
and he's like his
Doug
emergency contact or some shit. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Doug is his contact, his medical contact.
He's like, I barely know you. I think he might be on his delivery route or something stupid like that. It was pretty funny though. Bryan Cranston was in a handful of these. As their neighbors
one of the neighbors.
For a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some really funny shit there. Was it Schlansky's or something like that?
I think that's the name.
I remember the one where they built the fucking pool, the above ground pool that went way over their fence. They were all pissed about that. Well, yeah. The deacon's wife, I thought this was
Kelly.
funny.
Yeah.
Kelly on here. She was also on Malcolm in the Middle as Stevie's mom.
Oh, okay.
Remember Stevie, the kid in the wheelchair?
Mm-hmm.
Who talked
yes
like this.
Like every breath seemed to be like, it's like a gasp.
I don't remember which show she was on first, but like her marriage falls apart on this show, and on Malcolm in the Middle, she also like her marriage falls apart with that actor as well. So I thought that was kind of funny that, and then I think she left this one for a while and came back. So maybe she did Malcolm like in that hiatus or something.
Oh, maybe I didn't even think
and then
about
left that show to come back here or something. But Every time I see her,
Oh,
I go,
no, actually,
she's getting divorced.
yeah, it says actually, she was absent in 2002. She needed to take a break from the series, and that's where, they're separated. She and Deacon are separated, and gonna get divorced. But then, she comes back, and they get back together.
Well, this show had a lot of good. I mean, they didn't have very good continuity if you had a sister, but they had good continuity with things like the Deacon's marriage breaking up,
Yes.
and Arthur, when he got scared, he had to have like heart surgery after that. There was like an episode or two of him recovering from heart surgery. There was like a whole thing with like Doug. His union went on strike, so he was out of work.
Yes.
So they would do like these like 4 or 5 episode things. There was I think a 3-parter where they had mold in their house.
I'm trying
And
to
they had to
remember
like,
that one.
I think they go on vacation and then they find out they have this like $5,000 mold job to get mold out of their house, and they don't want to spend money. But then they come back and it's like there are still like 3 episodes or something where the mold guys are in the house, So there's weird little continuity things they do, but it makes you go, "Fuck Ricky Lake. He doesn't have a sister anymore. Why would they do that? I don't." Why wouldn't you just mention the sister even if you don't want to hire Ricky Lake again? I don't know. Seems strange, but okay. So the pilot. Do you think the pilot was a good setup for this show?
I think the pilot was a good setup. Disregarding the sister, although she like
was she in the pilot? I forget.
She was in the pilot. She was
Okay.
in. I want to say like half the show, like in that episode, and I thought
she only did 4 episodes, so it's probably the first 4.
Yeah, like she seemed good, but it's just
She was hot too. God damn it.
Yeah, but at the same point, when they brought up about her character, that what do you call it? They couldn't develop more like storylines for her, and so that's why that character was abandoned.
I was going to mention that earlier and I got sidetracked. Yeah, Richie left because he went to do another show. But yeah, the writers said, "Sarah, we just didn't have anything for her to do."
Right.
So we always felt like we were kind of forcing her in. Which, I mean, it seems like the later stuff with like Holly could have been the sister,
Yeah. They definitely could have done that.
Because they added other female side characters. It seems like any of those things could have been her, but
at the same point, like you said before,
she was
Nicole
so
Sullivan
early
was
on.
great.
Yeah.
So
yeah. She was so early on. They weren't doing that yet. They didn't add them until I think season 5 or something. So,
but yeah, the finale, I'll say though, wasn't the best finale.
No, this is actually like I really like this show, and this is literally I remember watching the finale because it's kind of it's a 2-part finale, but it's really kind of a 3-4 part finale if you
correct. Yeah, if you take the whole thing with the apartment and the
You're right. So like, I don't understand the decision. So the best, the times of this show that are the best, funniest moments are just the 3 of them in a room together.
Mm-hmm.
And these last couple episodes, they chose to like separate them all.
Yeah.
Like Arthur ends up with Spence's mom, or he's dating one woman.
Well, yeah, he's dating one woman, and then winds up like marrying Spence's mom.
And they were trying to adopt a kid from China,
right?
And then
it just became so convoluted.
It was just fucking weird. And then Doug and Carrie are thinking about breaking up for like 3 episodes.
Yep.
They hate each other all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden their kid is ready in China, and they race to China.
Yeah.
To see who can adopt the kid first.
First, yeah. It's like,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, and of course they're on the same flight. It's like, duh.
But I didn't rewatch them because I fucking hate the last couple episodes of the show.
Same
They're just heartbreaking because it's usually so good, and then I just remember going, why the fuck in the end of such a fun show? Why is Doug always in a scene over here, and Carrie's always in a scene over here, and Arthur's in a scene over here? Put the fucking people you love together and let them be funny. I don't understand.
Right. Yeah, it's like the reason the show worked so well was because of the
Yeah.
chemistry between
And
those actors and and their characters. Yeah, why separate and try to
and they're
do some other
forcing
thing?
all this. They're forcing all this melodrama
Mm-hmm.
about like, well, you young if you don't want to be with me, blah blah blah. It's like, what the fuck? I'm going to get our baby. If you want to be part of this, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
And then they have this big sappy scene where they make up on the plane. In the last like 4 minutes of the episode, like they go get the baby and they've reconciled and they come home and they have the baby and then they find out she's pregnant.
right.
So we're like, okay, all right. And then Arthur moves back, like shows up. We broke up, and he moves back in.
Yeah,
his marriage
yeah.
didn't work out.
That part of things I liked. The fact of it's like, yeah, Arthur. It's like he got married, and nope, that didn't work out.
So they reset at the very last scene of the series,
right.
and you're like, okay, fine, but
But to
it
get
was just
there
a wonky way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a real fucking wonky way of doing it.
yeah,
And it just didn't feel like the King of Queens to me.
No. Again, it just, as you said, the characters not being together. Yeah, it didn't work.
And not only not together, but like separate and sad about shit.
Yep.
And
Yeah, because that was the other thing. Like, I think between also the two shows like Raymond and King of Queens, like, there were definitely, like dramatic and like, some sad things or like very emotional things at times on Raymond, and I think they were handled well in that. King of Queens, for the most part, it wasn't that it was. It thrived on the chaos. It thrived on the without getting the over sappy. And they tried to do the sappy at the end. And it's like, no. What's worked all this time?
Even the one we talked about where he gives Arthur like the heart ischemia or the fuck.
Yeah.
That had just like the right amount of
Yeah. It was
happiness.
just enough.
Just enough. You know?
But that's the thing. Like they thrive more on the the chaos of it rather than okay, let's get ultra sappy sweet. And it's like no.
And then they throw on the sappy song with the clips from the old at the very end too, and you're like, fuck you. You didn't earn that.
No.
You know what I mean? I would almost have rather had like an entire clip show for the last episode than what we got.
No, I totally agree. I was definitely disappointed by King of Queens ending. Like
Now, this one I definitely like reboot. We talk about reboot fucking galore. I don't think I would want a reboot of this either. I talked about how I wouldn't want a reboot of Raymond because the parents are gone, the grandparents. Wouldn't be the same show.
Nah.
You know how many years when they were doing all these fucking other Kevin James shows and Leah Remini would show up on his other show, and I'm going, if this is what you want to do, just do another season of fucking King of Queens with you, her, and Jerry Stiller.
Right, but
and
now it's too late.
Waited too long. You waited too long.
Now it's
and
too
now
late.
He's gone. It would have
Jerry Stiller. That is just people know.
Yeah. If you would have just done one more season instead of wasting your time on these other shitty fucking shows that no one cares about and trying to recreate that magic, you know what? I would have been way more down with that. Because you could have had one season where they're now parents. Those kids would be teenagers, so you wouldn't have to deal with the young child shit. That would have been fun to have maybe the same dynamic, but add a couple teenagers in there. But yeah, now you waited too long and Jerry's gone, and it's kind of sad. I remember when he died, my first thought was, fuck. I really kind of just wanted a little more King of Queens.
Right. But
yeah.
Jerry Stiller, anything he was on, he made better. So.
Yeah, I can't imagine the show without him, to be honest.
No.
I mean, like, what if you had like a Jack Palance or something on here?
Nah.
I think Jerry Stiller is like the perfect balance of like overbearing but like adolescent.
Yes, that's the best way to actually play. Like, like you said, he's the child in the show, so yeah, overbearing but adolescent. That's a good combo there. So, where does King of Queens go on your list? That I gotta know.
Well, you got to go first. You made me go first last time.
Okay. Well, for me, I think King of Queens. Again, enjoy it. It's definitely not in the lower half, but I think it's.
You're like, I like 8 Simple Rules better. Fuck.
No! Now, I think I will say this actually falls just, for me, just below Living Single. Just below.
What
And
number
Living
is that
Single.
for you? Like 10 or 11?
Yeah, it's about that now because Living Single used to be my 10, but I think it became 11 with the shift last time. So I guess it actually becomes like 12. Yeah. 12 out of
All right.
20. What are we at? Like 25, 26 now?
Something like that, yeah. All right. Wow. Okay.
What about you?
Well, what do you think I put it?
I'm going to say that it's below News Radio and Night Court. I'm trying to just think, though, do you put it below, say...
My top were Night Court, News Radio, Friends, Raising Hope, Honeymooners, Bob Newhart.
I'm going to say you put it above Honeymooners, below Raising Hope.
So that'd be my 5.
Right.
King of Queens for me. This was a hard one, a really hard one to place.
Mm-hmm.
You loved Everyone Loves Raymond so much you put it at number 1.
Right.
I put it at, I think it's my 11. Yeah, it's my 11. Which is funny, the spinoff here. I'm throwing King of Queens right under Night Court at number 2.
Really? Okay, I'm surprised. Okay, I didn't.
And that's funny that you put it basically. You put Raymond at the top. I put this almost at the top.
Right.
And then the opposite. We put it around the same spot.
Yeah. We flip flopped with those two shows.
Isn't that funny? Wow.
That is.
I wasn't sure if I would put News Radio above or below that. That would be my that was the hardest part.
Yeah, and that's what I figured, that News Radio would be above it. I like I said, I thought Night Court and News Radio would be your top ones, and I didn't know as far as with Raising Hope and Friends. I was like, okay, I think it might be below Raising Hope, but above Friends for you. But I think your things are flipped on the list.
Yeah, I mean, my top fucking 5 are favorites of mine. So this is, I think News Radio again was a show I discovered well after it was over.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, that nostalgia developed later, whereas this I watched while it was on and was tuning in weekly and excited for the finale and that. So I think that nostalgia helps boost it a bit for me. Yeah, number 2 for me, King of Queens.
Nice.
All right, well, I don't know if we've officially decided what we're doing next episode.
No, I don't think we have.
We will discuss it off air.
I'm glad though we actually got to do a show and its and its spin-off right away.
Oh, let's do that for our next episode too. I talked about how we should do a kind of a pick for a revisit of something from season 1.
Oh, yeah.
So why don't we both bring in a couple that we think we should revisit from the first season for the next episode, and maybe we can do like a live drawing while we record next time.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
Should we pick 2 each, you think?
Yeah.
2 or 3?
Let's do 2.
How much? 2? We'll pick 2 each. Shows we think we should revisit from our first season. Go back and listen or watch those, kids. And we'll throw them into a hat and we'll pick out one of those and see what we're going to revisit here later in this season.
Excellent.
Because, I mean, we were still finding our way early on. We might have some more things to say. And
Actually, early on, if you remember, we actually tried to pick like, okay, what 3 episodes would you give to people to say, oh, okay, this encapsulates the sitcom, and then we broke from that. It's like, you know what? We need more of a sampling to really sometimes
we
judge
watched
some of the shows.
We watched more than 3, but
Yeah,
we would discuss in depth only like 3.
right.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, I think we definitely need to revisit some of these and give like another take.
Sweet. All right. Well, do you got some socials for us, my friend?
Yes, I do. If you would like to get in touch with us via email, whoops, no, hold on. Down there.
Get your finger out of there.
Down there, you'll see sitcommyface@gmail.com. Above that, you'll see facebook.com/sitcommyface. And if Twitter still exists, when we reach next show, and if we ever decide to post there, our Twitter handle is @sitcommyface.
I post only dick pics there, so
there we go. Dick Clark.
Shit.
And if people want to see your Twitch, where should they go?
I should start streaming there more as well. But twitch.tv/bidwellfog. And you, sir?
I'm twitch.tv/netnick191.
Yeah, we added a Rumble, so I put it under mine right now, but we might make a show
sweet.
Rumble. I'm not seeing a lot of action over there yet. It's a newer format. It's kind of a YouTube light, I guess.
Okay.
But if you want to find us on Rumble, I'm at Bidwell Fog, and if we start seeing some numbers over there, maybe we'll make a channel for the show.
Right,
see how that works
and
out.
Perhaps when we live stream, we may go there. We'll see. I guess we'll have to get ready to rumble. Yeah.
Let's get ready to not pay copyright. Damn it.
Well, until next time, what should the good folks at home do besides have a happy Thanksgiving? What else can they do?
Sitcom my sexy, sexy face.
Thank you, everyone. Happy Gobble Day.